Hello there and welcome to the program. This week, we are actually going to have as a guest the Director General Media to the Kogi State Governor. He is Kingsley Fanwo. We are not going to be talking about a particular sector like agri, like health, like education, but we want to talk about certain developments, current developments within Kogi State, like the just concluded recall exercise of Senator Dino Melaye. We are also going to talk about the recently concluded congresses of APC. We will call the one of Kogi congresses because we learned that there were two congresses parallel. But whether that is correct or not, the DG Media will be here to tell us more about it. We are also going to talk about salary matters. You're welcome. Right, DG, you're welcome to the program. Now, the recall exercise of Senator Dino Melaye has come and gone. Some people will tell us that it was a failed exercise. Some people will say that, okay, it's like it's the first time and you cannot call it failed because for the senator to be dragged to that level, it has not been an easy thing. But then we want to hear from you. How involved was the Kogi State government in the recall exercise? Was the government supposed to have been involved in a recall exercise of a senator? We want you to give an answer to that.
Thank you, Mr. Odion. It's quite unfortunate that some very desperate people are trying to pin the recall exercise on the state government. But as far as we are concerned, the state government didn't play any role whatsoever in the recall exercise. It is an exercise between the Independent National Electoral Commission and Dino's constituents. The governor has no power to play any role in it. And the government, therefore, doesn't even have any power to play any role in any recall exercise. Even if the constituents of Kogi Central wants to remove their senator, wants to recall their senator, the governor will just play a role as a constituent, either to support or be against the exercise. So as far as we are concerned, the state government didn't play any role. We are not interested in it. It is not our project, so to say. It was an exercise that was initiated by the constituents, propelled by the constituents, and we know a lot of things went wrong at some stage according to what the people say. For instance, some of the people who signed and couldn't find their names on the register and all of that. But that is not even our concern as a government. We are concentrating on delivering democracy dividends to the people. So we have no problem with the recall exercise. And I've had a good number of people banding all sort of sums about that the state government expended so and so on it. Some state government officials were given stupendous amount of money to go and expend on the exercise and all of that. I am an official of Kogi State government. I am from Kogi West. And during the exercise, government did not give me a dime to do anything. So it means the state government has no interest in it.
Well, this is the case of, let me liken the case of Kogi State to a family setup, father and children. Some constituents are saying they want their senator back. I would have expected, age has nothing to do with this, Governor Yahaya Bellos should have been able to call them together and say, all right, let me settle you people, Dino and some people on this side, well, the agreed constituents on this side, let me settle. Is that not what is expected of it?
The governor is a man who believes in constitutionalism. He is a man who believes in the rights of the citizens. He is a man who believes in due process and respect for the rule of law. So, as a matter of fact, if Dino's constituents are agitating for his recall, it will be out of place for the governor to try to scuttle the aspirations of the people. You know, they elected him senator, and they were saying they want him back home, that is not representing them well. I read a lot of things about what happened, that he's not promoting the real values of the Kogi West people on the floor of the Senate, and all of that. Some of his activities were ungentlemanly, and Kogi West people are known for sound morality and all of that. So if they are saying they wanted him back, there was nothing the governor could have done, because it will amount to impeding a constitutional process. So I do not think, how many people are you going to call together? Because thousands of people signed the recall register. And as you are aware, even despite all that happened, all the complaints of the constituents, more than 20,000 people still affirmed their signature. So are you going to call 20,000 people aggrieved people, and a lot more who could not even make it there that day to affirm their signature? Are you going to call all of them together and say you want to reconcile them with a senator they said they erroneously elected? So it's nice that the process went through its due course. And it shows the government has no hand in it. For instance, if government were to be an interested party, that day, a lot of markets were opened. Movements of people were not inhibited. It shows government has, because if you are doing that, it was more like an election. And for any election to succeed, you have to stop mobility. And in this case, nobody was stopped from doing anything. Everybody went about their normal businesses. And those who were courageous enough came out to affirm that they signed it. And in the first time in the history of the country that a recall exercise was pursued to that level. So it is something that we should credit to the good people of Kogi West.
Yes, thank you for that explanation. Let's go to the area of salary. Is salary regular in Kogi State? I'm asking this question because when people talk about governance in Kogi State, there are some areas, if not many areas, that they give pass mark to the governor and his team. But then people keep complaining about payment of salary. What is going on?
Yeah, it is the issue of salary is also a well-crafted media propaganda issue. Some very powerful personalities who were pilfering the resources of the state in the past had no access to the resources anymore. Now, they have been deploying their loot to discredit the state and make the state government look so irresponsible that they have not been paying salaries. If you compare salaries in the entire North Central, Kogi is paying the highest in terms of salary scale. We inherited a bogus, highly infested, overpopulated civil service. So we're paying salaries to ghosts and unintended beneficiaries and people who forged credentials to gain employment. Now, when we came in, the staff strength of the state was 23,000. After the screening exercise, we were able to bring it down to 18,000. The wage bill of the state before the screening exercise was 3.1 billion naira. And we were able to bring it down to 2.5 billion naira. So it shows that effectively we were able to save 600 million. Even at that, it has been very difficult to raise enough resources to provide infrastructure for everybody, people that are civil servants and others that are artisans that are not earning from government, it is still their resources. So we have to find a way of satisfying all sectors. And the reason I said it's politically motivated media propaganda is that there are states that are owing 9 months in this country. They've come out to confess. I attended the PGF forum, and the deputy governor stood up to say they were owing 9 months. But you won't see it in the media, because in such states, we don't have the kind of political environment that we have in Kogi State. So people are deliberately trying to denigrate the state government. As I speak here, we have paid February salary, February 2018. So, and they are processing March. So it means that we are owing 2 months salary. Yeah, we know it's difficult. We have been trying to explain to our citizens. We are doing a lot of projects, constructing a lot of roads, building a lot of hostels in the higher citadels of learning, and upgrading our health institutions across the state and all of that. This requires resources. So we have to find the midway to resolving this issue. So it is something that had been seriously played up in the media to discredit the state government.
We learned that the screening exercise revealed a lot of things. We learned that maybe a head teacher or a director could not even speak English, had to get translators, whatever. How successful was the screening exercise, and has it come to an end?
Yeah, the screening exercise, yes, as it were, had come to an end since last year. And the issue of verification, we have built what I call an internal mechanism to take care of that. So it is a continuous process. When this government came, we discovered the state government didn't have enough nurses and doctors in our health institutions. And we have acted in the interest of the Kogi people to employ more doctors, nurses, and what have you, to be able to fill the gap, the manpower gap in the healthcare sector. And as we speak, it's terrible. It was like a cesspool of corruption. The civil service was so much like a pool of corruption.
The APC Congress has just been concluded, and in some states we had that some casualties were recorded. And in Kogi State, what we had initially was that there were 2 parallel congresses. Later on, we learned that even a group withdrew, then to reappear, and then address a press conference. How did it go?
Okay, it's quite unfortunate that some people have decided to constitute themselves as the cogs in the wheel of development. Let me just be categorical here. I couldn't go to many places because in congresses you have to be in your ward, and I was in my Takite Deotafun Ward 07 in Mopamro local government area. It was more like a campaign rally. The atmosphere was peaceful, the process was superb, and it was a hugely successful Congress. And we have elected our ward officials. And I got feedbacks from across the state, and the feedback is beautiful. No violence anywhere, and despite the fact that some people say they are staying off, they have been staying off for the past 3 years. They have not been coming to Kogi State. So they've detached themselves from the party, from the grassroots, from the people. So for them to say they are staying off, it's just like announcing to us what they have started 3 years ago. So there was no impact. It had no impact on the Congress, because the people came out in mass to participate because they believe in our party and they believe in the leadership of His Excellency Alhaji Yahaya Bello. So if anybody is addressing press conference in Abuja that they have carried the day, a particular group in APC had carried the day, the Congress was successful, but you are addressing the press conference in Abuja, why not his word? He should have come to his ward to address a press conference. After the Congress in my ward, I addressed a press conference. And I spoke to the press, and they saw the atmosphere. And they have reported it fantastically. But they want to give Kogi a bad name again. That's why they are saying all the things they are now saying. Because we don't have any problem with them. Our officials have emerged. They will soon be inaugurated. And we are cool to face 2019.
All right, let's now talk about crime and criminality. What is the state of security in Kogi State? We used to hear about kidnapping all over the whole place. Has that abated?
Yeah, His Excellency has zero tolerance to issue of criminality, and he made it clear from his first day in office on January 27th, 2016. He made it so clear that he would not tolerate criminality. He didn't get to power with the use of criminals, thugs. He got to power through the votes of the Kogi people and by the divine intervention of the Almighty God. And he said he would ensure that Kogites, wherever they live, are safe from criminals. And as a result of that, he said the ball rolling. When we came in, we know that the crime statistics, kidnapping between January and June 2016, we witnessed 167 kidnap cases in Kogi State. So if you divide it by 6, you know what it means. I remember that anybody passing through Obajano Road or through Okene Road or through Ida Road, they will report at least cases of kidnap on daily basis. But when he came, he used the first 6 months to study what he met on ground as regards the security architecture of the state. He launched a security outfit that we call the Operation Total Freedom. And Operation Total Freedom ensured that we were able to redraw the security architecture, re-strategize, bring all the security agencies together to be able to synergize and confront issues of criminality. And he has given them a lot of incentives, a lot of equipment, world-class security equipment to be able to combat criminality in the state. As I speak with you, we have gone 2 months, 3 months along Lokoja Obajano Road without a single case of kidnap. And that testifies to his commitment to security, and I'm sure Kogites are quite impressed with the security architecture of the state under His Excellency Alhaji Yahaya Bello. Even the Inspector General of Police have given him a special award of excellence in ensuring security in Kogi State. As I'm seated here, Business Day newspapers have also served us letter telling us that our governor has also been voted by the various readers, by thousands of readers across the country and abroad as the best governor in terms of ensuring security. We appreciate all these accolades, and just like His Excellency will continue to say, he is the major driver of security in the state. He is the #1 security man in the state, and he has assured the people of Kogi State he will continue to ensure security.
I will recall that 3 years ago, when you talk about environment, Kogi scored an abysmal 2nd position in dirtiness, in filth. What is the situation now?
Fantastic. When we came in, Kogi State was 2nd to the last among the 36 states of the Federation. We were rated the 2nd dirtiest state in Nigeria. 2 months ago, independent bodies in Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, they have rated us as the 2nd cleanest state in the Federation. We have been able to achieve this less than 3 years into our administration. And the governor said it during the first executive council meeting after the ratings. that he's not satisfied. He wants to be the best in the nation. And if you drive around the streets of Lokoja, you'll find out that we have a cleaner, saner environment as we speak. We've bought a good number of equipment for the Environmental Protection Agency to be able to do their jobs. We've employed more hands, and we've ensured that we do a lot of sensitization, grassroots sensitization, to ensure that people understand the need to have a clean environment. What are we gaining in this? When you have a clean environment, you will have less ailments. And that means the money you spend in hospitals to treat environment-related ailments will now be kept in your pocket to do some other things. So it is an economic boost to the people of the state that we have a cleaner, saner environment. We are trying to attract a lot of investors into the state. Many of them have come. Many of them have already started putting in place their structures in the state, and they will be able to employ a good number of our people. They won't come to a dirty environment. We have ensured security, so they know their staff, their investment will be secure. And we have ensured we have a cleaner, saner environment for them to operate.
Now, you've talked about getting investors into Kogi. All right. How about your people? How are they benefiting from dividends of democracy, most especially in the area of agriculture? You have the land, you have the water.
Yeah, the governor has declared a state of emergency in the agricultural sector, and we want to make agriculture our number one driver, our number one economic driver in the state, and we're achieving that very, very fast. As I speak, we have overtaken a good number of states to become the number one cashew producer in the country. And just about a few months ago, we also declared the number one cassava producer in the country. And that led to the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding with the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation to put in place biofuel facilities in Kogi State, which will use a lot of cassava products. So that is a very good platform for the agricultural agenda of the present administration to produce cassava in industrial quantities, to be able to feed these industries and also feed our people and export. And we are doing a lot also in rice production. We have a rice mill in Omidam. Omidam is the magic of the administration in agriculture. We have a good number, thousands of our youths are there cultivating rice, using the best equipment in agriculture. And all they need to do is to go there, operate this equipment, they own the rice, and there is a rice mill there for processing. So these are the things put in place by this administration to make agriculture our number one economic driver. Apart from that, we are also empowering youths across the 21 local government areas of the state. We've started with 150 youth per local government. They've gotten their grants. They have their farms in place as we speak. And we want to increase that. And there is a special program that the state is also collaborating with Federal Ministry of Agriculture on poultry, production of eggs. And we are having a good number also per local government to be able to drive this. When you put all of this together, what we are going to have is a state that is economically viable through agriculture, a state that is going to employ thousands of its youths in the agricultural sector, a state that will ensure food security, a state that will be able to use agriculture to stop criminality. Because many of these youths that are in crime wouldn't have taken to crime if they have been empowered to be viable farmers. And that is exactly what we are building in Kogi State. So in the next few years, we want to be number one in many more products, not only cassava and cashew.
All right. With this catalog of achievements you have enumerated, why is Governor Yahaya Bellos still immersed in controversies? Do you agree that it's controversial?
Yeah, it depends on your definition of controversy. Yes, he's controversial in the sense that he's not someone who will accept a satanic unproductive status quo. No. He is stubborn to that. When something is bad, he will correct it. I'll give you an instance. When you have a bad road, those who fill the potholes, they are not gentlemen. Are they? They are not gentlemen. You need hard guys that can fill the potholes. Then, when the potholes are filled, then you need gentlemen to drive on it. But to fill the potholes, gentlemen, cool men, that are not strong, that are not rugged, cannot do that. Kogi State has a lot of economic potholes. Kogi State has a lot of institutional potholes. Kogi State itself is a pothole. And, you know, for him to come, he appreciated the enormity of the rot on ground, where a deputy governor of a state will instruct someone who has school sat to be employed as a medical officer, where a head teacher in a school will need interpretation, cannot understand English, simple English language. When someone who was employed in 1988, and we asked him to tell us how many years he had put into service between 1988 and 2016, and she told us she has put 105 years in service. When you have a state like that, you need a controversial man, a stubborn man, a person who is stubborn to his commitments to fix things. So when you say he's controversial, the man is not afraid of being called controversial. He wants to get the job done. He has his eye fixed on the goal. The goal is a Kogi State that will be free of ethnic jingoism, a Kogi State that will be free of political servitude, a Kogi State that will be free of economic shambles. And he's getting there.
DG, we really thank you for having time to be on this program. And so, viewers, that will be the end of this week's edition of the program. I really thank you for being there and being able to hear from Kingsley Fanwo, who is the Director General Media to Governor Yahaya Bellos of Kogi State. He has been speaking extensively on the exercise, that is the recall exercise of one of the senators in the state, Dino Melaye. And I actually put it to him that I would have expected the governor to settle the differences among the governor and the constituents, and he gave his explanation. He also spoke about the APC Congress that took place nationwide, and of course, how controversial is His Excellency. Well then, next week, we bring you yet another edition of the program. I am John Bello. Thanks for being there.